Joel Embiid could return as soon as Game 3 or 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Miami Heat. Embiid did not travel for Games 1 and 2 Monday and Wednesday because of an orbital fracture and concussion, but a reevaluation on Wednesday could clear the way for his return when the series shifts to Philadelphia on Friday. Now, some questioned if it was the right call by Doc to leave Embiid in Philly's 132-97 win on Thursday. Here's Doc's response.
The other team had all their guys in, too. The last 5 minutes of the game, we made the run the last minute of that game. Right before that, that's when we got up 29. After Joel made the shot and did the airplane, if you watch the game, I turned and said, I'm calling a timeout on the next possession. So, not upset that he was in. You can make that a big deal if you want, but just go and look at every team and every game, and their guys are in until about the 3-minute mark. That's what it is.
All right, Perk, we know they were up 29. He kept him in, obviously, and we saw what happened. Does Doc deserve blame for the Embiid injury?
Hell no. And let me tell you who deserves the blame for Joel Embiid injury. Some of us media people out there, not me, but the people out there that was questioning Doc Rivers about blowing 3-1 leads and getting on him about those certain scenarios that happened in the past. Look, if I'm Doc Rivers, guess what? As long as Toronto got their starters out there, I'm keeping my starters out there until I secure the victory. Because if Doc Rivers or things go south or whatever the case may be, guess what? Oh, Doc Rivers, he's about to blow it again. So look, at the end of the day, Doc Rivers did what he was supposed to do, and it was the timing of the game. Like he said, they went on the run that last minute. He was just about to sub him out. It was unfortunate, but if I'm Doc Rivers, I'm doing the same thing. Matter of fact, I wish a lot of people get off of Doc Rivers' back, but I actually love it because right now, Doc Rivers is about to get in his bag. He showed me signs of it in the Toronto series, but I want people to keep doubting him because I seen Doc Rivers angry behind the scenes for 8.5 years and go out there and show what he's capable of doing, but now he's coming out publicly and showing his anger, and I know one thing about Doc. He's a prideful guy, and he's going to show the world why he's one of the best coaches to ever do it, and y'all going to put some respect on his name.
Kendrick, you know how far back Doc Rivers and I go. You know how I feel about him.
I know.
All right, so let me get that out the way first. And I'll touch on what you just alluded to because it's important. I don't think Doc Rivers is to blame for Embiid's injury either. But I do not believe he should have had him out there. I believe that if you up 29 with Joel Embiid's injury history, the fact that there's always something that happens to him, I think he's one of those dudes that you get the hell up out of there as soon as you possibly can, because you never know what's going to happen to him. I mean, listen, that brother might mess up his fingernail walking to the scorer's table. We don't know what the hell's going to happen to Joel Embiid from game to game. I mean, that's just the way it is, and I'm not disrespecting him in any way. He's my vote for league MVP. I think he's great for the NBA. I think he's a preeminent face in the NBA, and he should be because his personality matches his game, and I think we all love him. We all respect him. We all revere the greatness that we're witnessing. He's one of the great big men to ever play the game of basketball. That's Joel Embiid. We understand that. But he's injury prone. And so things tend to happen to him that may be of an unorthodox nature, something that may not be too common, but it happens to him. And that would have been enough for me with approaching. It doesn't have to be 29. It could have been 23. It could have been 20. It's 4 minutes left. I want to sit up there and give him a break and see what my team's going to do without him. And then if I have to put him back in, I'll put him back in. But he's one of those guys I want to get out of there as soon as I possibly can, just because of what happens to him. Having said all of that, let's address this Doc Rivers situation for a second. Doc Rivers appears a bit defensive. Doc Rivers appears, to be a bit defensive, a willingness to get a bit acerbic, dare I say. And guess what, Kendrick Perkins? I love it. I wouldn't have Doc Rivers any other way. Continue to be that way, Coach, because let me tell you something. As a person that worked in Philadelphia for 17 years, that city respects that. When you sit up there and you go right back at them, but you go back at them with knowledge compounded on the attitude that you might have, I think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Doc Rivers shouldn't be any different than what he is, but we have to understand why he might be that way. Not everybody. Not most. I don't know the names or whatever. I'm just talking about from a cultural standpoint. There's people in Philadelphia trying to get Doc Rivers fired. Let's call it what it is. I'm not asking y'all. I'm telling y'all. I worked in this town. When you see storylines about Mike D'Antoni, who coached in Houston, who James Harden loves and Daryl Morey loves and all of that other stuff, you don't hear those names coming out in the Philadelphia media by accident. Somebody leaked that information to those reporters. These reporters ain't making stuff up. I'm telling you what I know. This Philadelphia here. They ain't making it up. They're getting it from somebody who's got an agenda, and they want to set the narrative that it's already in play. So if you decide to bounce Doc Rivers up out of there, you understand? You can lean on these things as excuses and rationale to justify such a decision. He's a champion. He's been to the finals twice. Yes, he's blown some 3-1 leads, and I understand that he's defensive about that. He'll tell you to look at the roster in Orlando. He'll tell you that nobody wanted to be in the bubble when he lost a 3-1 lead to Denver a couple of years ago, which is absolutely true. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, nobody wanted to be in a damn bubble. He'll tell you all of that, but in the end, as the coach, it's still his job to find a way to work around it. And during those 3-1 situations, he did it. Doesn't take away the championship he won. Doesn't take away the Game 7 finals that he lost to L.A. where Kendrick Perkins was hurt. And if that starting lineup had been in place, you might have beat the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's not forget all of that.
You preaching today.
This man knows, Doc Rivers knows what the hell he's doing. And so when I look at it from that standpoint, and I consider him to be one of the great, great coaches to ever coach in the NBA, you've been around 23 years. My only thing, and I'll close by saying this, all of those things I agree with you about, and I don't think that he should be out as the coach no matter what happens to the Philadelphia 76ers this year, because I think they're about to lose to the Miami Heat. I still think he should remain the coach. But in the end, you've been around long enough. Don't come to us with the rationale. Look around the league, look at other teams, look at what they do. You Doc freaking Rivers. You've been coaching in this league for 23 years. I don't give a damn what other coaches and other teams do. They ain't you. So please don't use that as an explanation again. You Doc Rivers. You do what you do, not what somebody else or not what's conventional. And that's all I got to say about it.
We got a bump. I need a yes or no, one-word answer, yes or no. Is Philly done? Perk?
No, I think this
No,
series
one word,
is on
Stephen A.
7. I haven't picked.
Stephen A?
Miami in 6.
All right. Please came down to the very last second, but John Moran missed his shot at the buzzer, and the Dubs went on to win by 1. It was a pool party yet again for Jordan, leading the team in points 31, 8, and 9 on the Grizz side. Jaren Jackson Jr., John Morant scoring 33, 34 respectively. But some questionable calls, fellas, by the refs in this one, especially Draymond Green's ejection in the first half. Green tossed with 1:18 left in the second quarter after getting a flagrant foul 2 in the 117-116 Game 1 semifinal win. Here's Money Green.
The playoffs are a little tougher and not as soft as the regular season, and that, you can bump a little more and you get away with a little more, I think tonight was probably a reputation thing more so than a hard foul. By definition, if we go through the definition of a flagrant 2 foul, I'm not sure that that play would quite be the definition of a flagrant foul. I'm not sure it would meet that criteria.
Essay, you're up first. Did Draymond deserve that ejection?
Go ahead, Kendrick Perkins. I want Kendrick Perkins
You
to
want
start
Perk
first.
to go?
I want Perk to start first. I want to hear what he has to say. I want to make sure that the blasphemy is not too egregious. Go ahead, Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, let me speak to you this morning, okay? Here's the thing. Hell yeah, he deserved the flagrant 2 foul, and let me explain to you why. First of all, you have to protect the players, all players. It don't matter the name on the back of the jersey. Second of all, yes, we all know that a flagrant 1 is hands to the face or above the shoulders. We get that. This is not football. This is not wrestling. This is not boxing. This is the game of basketball. The most important point is that you have to set something